Good news for you is the judicial pronouncements, which are part of your course curriculum, have been given very clearly in the course curriculum itself. So you do not have to hunt and find out as to what all you have to cover as part of your preparation. So there are six case laws which are there, which you have to prepare yourself about. Uh, Good thing that I would like to tell you, friends, all the high courts, Supreme Court, tribunals, time and again, all over the country, have repeated, and please pay attention what they have repeated. They have repeated, if valuation has been done by a competent and qualified person following the given methods and the approaches, then we have no reason to interfere in the evaluation done by such a professional. So, what does it mean? It means the judicial system of this country has placed tremendous confidence in the valuation professionals of this country. And this is what we have to remember. And it means what? It means it casts a responsibility, additional responsibility on every one of us, that this faith and confidence which the judicial system of this country has in the evaluation professionals has to be kept high. So, friends, these are the six cases that you see on the screen, and I will take them one by one. So, you have a case of Mihir H. Mafatal versus Mafatal Industries in Hindustan Lever, Brook Bond, Dinesh Brizlal, Renuka Datla, and GL Sultania. So, remember the 2 marks you will get from this portion. So what they will do, they will maybe give you the one of the cases, and they will ask you what was the outcome. Now invariably in all the cases the outcome has been the courts have refused to interfere. I could, in all these six cases that we are talking about, in none of these six cases court has supported the objector. The court has supported the valuer. So your standard answer in most of the cases will be that, but we will understand it one by one. So friends, this is the first case of Brook Bond Lipton India Limited. Brook Bond India Limited, once upon a time, Brook Bond was one company, Lipton was another company. After a while, Brook Bond and Lipton merged together, and a company came into existence called Brook Bond Lipton India Limited. Now, this Brook Bond Lipton India Limited was subsequently merged with Unilever or Hindustan Lever. And when the scheme of merger was prepared and submitted to the court, somebody objected, saying that the exchange ratio has not been properly or fairly determined. So somebody approached the Calcutta High Court objecting to the exchange ratio, which was based on the valuation of a competent chartered accountant. So the court heard the case, and what was the verdict given? And the court said, if the ratio of exchange has been fixed by an experienced and reputed firm of chartered accountants, then in the absence of any charge of fraud against them, the court will accept such valuation and ratio of exchange. So this was the verdict given by the Calcutta High Court in the matter of Brook Bond Lipton India Limited. So the valuation report and the exchange ratio based on the valuation report of the chartered accountant was accepted, and the objection was overruled. This is case number one. And friends, I am sure if all of you are listening to me with full attention, believe me, everything is getting registered in your memory, and you would be able to answer these questions without any difficulty whatsoever. The second case was of Dr. Mrs. Renuka Datla versus Solvay Pharmaceutical. In this case, Supreme Court held the valuer adopts the method of valuation prescribed, or in the absence of any prescribed method, adopts any recognized method of valuation, his valuation cannot be assailed unless. So again, friends, you can see the Supreme Court is giving the verdict saying what? Saying if the valuer has followed the prescribed method, his report cannot be assailed unless the valuation was made on a fundamentally erroneous basis, that a patent mistake has been committed. The valuer adopted a demonstrably wrong approach. So the Supreme Court is saying only if these three things happen: fundamental error, patent mistake, and wrong approach. Only if these three things are there in the evaluation report, court can intervene, not otherwise. So in this case also, the court gave the verdict that the report is to be accepted and the objection was overruled.
Sir, little bit confusion, sir. Sir, here it is written, or in the absence of any prescribed method,
Yeah.
adopts any recognized method of evaluation. Means, sir, absence of any prescribed method means there he has not adopted any prescribed method.
No, it means Supreme Court is accepting that we are not valuation professional. The Supreme Court is not the valuation professional. So they are making this open statement. Whatever has been done, if it has been done systematically and there are no fundamental errors, there are no patent mistake, and there are no demonstrably wrong approach, we will not object to it. So remember, the court is not an expert in the evaluation. Court, if you go and ask the Supreme Court judge what are the approaches of the valuation, he will not tell you. You go and ask him what are the methods of valuation, he will not tell you. He is not supposed to know. So that is what they are saying, that if the method has been prescribed, you have to follow the prescribed method. If the method is not prescribed, then you have to do something which is systematic. That is what is the meaning of the court. Do you understand?
Thank you, sir. Patent mistake means, sir, patent mistake.
पेटेंट मिस्टेक यानी कि एकदम क्लियर कट मिस्टेक, ऑब्वियस मिस्टेक, ऑब्वियस मिस्टेक.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, then we have a case of Mihir Mafatlal versus Mafatlal Industries. In this case, also Supreme Court held, once the exchange ratio of the shares of the transferee company to be allotted to the holders of shares in the transferor company has been worked out by a recognized firm of chartered accountants who are experts in the field of valuation, and if no mistake can be pointed out in the said valuation, it is not for the court to substitute its exchange ratio, especially when the same has been accepted without demur by the overwhelming majority of the shareholders of two companies. So you can see here again the position of the Supreme Court in the matter of Mihir Mafatlal and Mafatlal Industries is still the same. The court is saying if the exchange ratio has been accepted by the majority of the company with overwhelming majority, and the evaluation has been done by a recognized firm of chartered accountants who are experts in the field of valuation, court says that we will not substitute this exchange ratio, so we will not do anything. So this is the position, this is the response in case of Mihir Mafatlal also, same thing. Now same in case of Brook Bond, same in case of Datla, same matter actually. Brook Bond was by the Calcutta High Court and this is by the Supreme Court. Okay. You can ask a question, what is the meaning of recognized firm of chartered accountants? Now again, remember Supreme Court, you can't expect the Supreme Court to be so savvy with the words. in normal course. So recognized firm of chartered accountants will simply mean a firm of chartered accountants which is registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants. As simple as that. And this was the old case. Now in the post valuation rules, it will be different. It will be RVO. And then in case of Hindustan Unilever, the matter was between the Hindustan Lever Employees Union and the Hindustan Lever. Again, it was the Supreme Court. The jurisdiction of a court in sanctioning a scheme of merger is not to ascertain with mathematical accuracy if the determination satisfied the arithmetic test. A company does not exercise, the company court does not exercise an appellate jurisdiction. It exercises a jurisdiction founded on fairness. So this is what was said by the Supreme Court, and I will come to the second last paragraph. The court's obligation is to be satisfied that the valuation was in accordance with the law and it was carried out by an independent body. Independent body meaning what? Independent body meaning the valuation was not done by somebody within the company or within the network of the company. Independent meaning today it will be a registered valuer. Yesterday it would have been a chartered accountant. So this again, friends, you will notice in case of Hindustan Lever also the same position. Sanjay, you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay. And then you have a matter of GL Sultania. And Sultania was again High Court. So, in this case, the Supreme Court, sorry, not High Court, Supreme Court. Supreme Court observed, such being the method of share valuation, which involves subjective and objective consideration, there is a considerable scope for difference of opinion. Now here, friends, what you can remember, in case of GL Sultania, see what you must do, all of you, when you are reading these cases, you must identify exclusive issues pertaining to that particular case. Now say for example, in case of GL Sultania, you can see what it is saying, considerable scope for difference of opinion. That means the court is admitting in this case that in case of valuation, it is possible if the valuation is done by many people, there will be differences in their valuations. So maybe a question can be there as to considerable scope for difference of opinion was the point covered in which of the Supreme Court order, and they will give you the 4 cases, and there you need to remember it is GL Sultania. So when you are reading, when you are preparing this, I am sure when you are reading you would be able to identify specific things. Alright, so same thing here. The variation may not be very wide, and the court is saying though the variations are there, but they should not be very wide, prepared honestly by 2 valuers applying the correct approach and the correct principles. But some variation is unavoidable. So that is what is the crux of the GL Sultania's case. So the GL Sultania's case, the court is talking about some variation can be there explicitly. And finally, friends, we come to the case of Dinesh Brijlal Lakhani versus Parke Davis. So in this case, it was Bombay High Court. The court will not interfere only because the valuation adopted by the valuer could have been improved by had another method adopted. So if you read this case, what would appear to you that the valuer used one method and the objector went to the court saying that if the valuer would have used another method, the valuation would have been different. And the court is saying that's none of our business. Valuer is an expert. He would decide as to what method he should use. So long as he is using the method which is in the domain of the practice, we have no objection. The court is neither a valuer nor an appellate forum to reappreciate the merits of the valuation. So court is saying very clearly, we will not go into it. The court has to ensure that the determination should not be contrary to the law or unfair to the shareholders of the company which has merged. So this, friends, is the crux of the case in case of Dinesh Brislal Lakhani versus Parke Davis. So the crux, friends, of all these 6 case studies, I am sure, number one, all these 6 orders that I have spoken must have got registered in your memory. Number two, what also must have got registered in your memory, that in all the cases, all the 6 cases, whether Supreme Court or the Calcutta Court or the Mumbai Court, they have very clearly said that we will not interfere in the valuation given by the valuer, so long as he is a competent valuer, so long as the firm is recognized, so long as they are not making any patent mistake, or they are not doing something which is demonstrably wrong, or they are doing something which is a clear cut fraud. If that is what is not happening, we will not intervene in the valuation report. So that, friends, is the credibility assigned by the courts in this country to the valuers. So with this, friends, we come to the close of this session. In case if you have any question, we would take it.